Good afternoon and welcome to Breaking Thai Fry Bread. I am Dave and this is Ty. Good afternoon. You know what, man? I've been all over the place with my pronunciation today. I
Uh,
was
just call me Thai bread today. It's all good.
I was on another call and I knew this gal's name was Sydney the whole time. I knew it was Sydney and I called her Stacy. I don't know what was going on, man. I don't know what was going on.
So,
Um
sometimes people just look like a Stacy,
That's what it's just as long as they don't look like a Karen, I guess that's all that matters.
Yep.
So you were just sharing you're going to do some canoeing.
We're going on a mini journey, the Eagle River canoe journey. We'll be in the San Juan Islands.
Okay?
Yeah.
And
So
you're going to go canoeing for 12 miles.
I was told it's a small 12-mile pole, but I hear 12 miles and that doesn't sound too small. So we'll see. That sounds like a lot of arm work.
That's like a lot of arm work. You know what? I ran 9 miles on Saturday.
Get out of here. Really?
I'm just saying, I knocked
Like,
out 9 miles.
wow, that's impressive. We're not young spring chickens anymore. So if you're busting out 9 miles, that's impressive.
I
You
want to
know,
tell you this. I knocked out 9 miles and I'm over 300 pounds.
even more impressive. I mean,
It is.
you're training for a marathon, right?
Yeah, I am. I'm training
When
for a
is
marathon.
and a marathon is
October 27th,
and a marathon is 26 miles or 23.
26.2 miles.
Man, those are pretty big aspirations, man. Sounds like you're right on your way, man. A 9 mile jant. That's no small feat.
You know what? It's I like to do things that only 1% of the population has done.
That David Goggins mindset, huh?
I don't know David Goggins.
Oh, look him up, man. He's great. Oh
David
man.
Goggins?
Oh yeah, dude, you're gonna love him. He's
All
that one
right,
percent.
David
He's that one
Goggins.
percent. He's that 1% club, man. He was over 300 pounds, and he decided he wanted to be a Navy SEAL. So you can imagine what he had to put his body through to get to achieve that.
Wow.
But yeah, he's motivational speaker now. He's all over TikTok and social media. Yeah, he's pretty insane though too. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, check him out. Check him out, man. He'll
Okay.
help you. He'll help you achieve that marathon sprint status.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
I'm hopefully I'm gonna get it right, David Goggins, and I'm gonna check him out, and we're gonna see what happens from there. So you're going on the canoe journey, and what's the purpose of this?
Purpose is to show support to the host, the family that's hosting the journey. It's not a big journey. I'm hearing there's probably 12 canoes. Um, there's going to be a Polynesian canoe. There's going to be a racing canoe, and then there's a few other different canoe families attending. So it's just to show support, and then at the same time, help get us ready for our canoe journey that's in July, late July, and give these kids some practice. Because this year's canoe journey is youth centric. We're wanting the youth to take the lead on this journey, and we want it to be a big focus on the youth. So we want the youth speaking the language when asking permission to come ashore. We want to see potentially youth skippers in the canoes, youth bringing out songs and dance, all of that stuff.
Hmm. Why would somebody go on one of these journeys? What is the why?
Many reasons,
Why is it?
uh, it's just one of our traditions. We've been doing, our coastal natives have been doing it for years, and it's grown into something huge today. I don't know if you attended Muckleshoot last year or when we hosted in 2018, but these things are pretty well attended. We usually have over 10,000 people in attendance. When we hosted, I think we had over 150 canoes, And the aerial shot of all the canoes on the landing is just amazing. It's crazy. And you get tribes, indigenous people that come all the way from New Zealand, from the Polynesian culture that come and participate in the canoe journey. And um,
Wow, that's
it's
crazy. I had no idea.
yeah, it's different for a lot of people. It's a healing journey for some, um, because what it entails, it's about 2 weeks of camping, polling, protocol, song, and dance. And it's obviously a drug and alcohol free environment. So it's just what we call that good medicine, right? 2 weeks of good medicine, and then you get about 5 days of protocol when the canoes have all landed.
What is
So
protocol?
so the protocol is when all the canoes have made it to their final destination, which would be the host tribe. So Puyallup is hosting this year. Every canoe family is going to start their canoe journey from the destination of their choice. And then they stop at all these host tribes along the way. That tribe hosts them for the evening. They pack up the next morning. They continue on their journey to the final destination, which is the Puyallup tribe this year. And once all the canoes have landed, they now we celebrate at protocol, which is kind of like a potlatch. We feed everybody, but every canoe family gets an opportunity to take the floor, dance, perform all of their songs that belong to their canoe family, all the dancing. There's a lot of acknowledgments that are done, thanks that are given to the host tribe, giveaways. Each canoe family has been known to take up like at least an hour on the floor. So these things get pretty wild. You'll see them go 24 hours sometimes.
And no drugs and alcohol.
No, nope,
I love
not at
that because
all.
I'm an anti-drugger, anti-drinker. So I love that. Wow, that's amazing, man. How many like you said canoe families? How many canoe families are in Puyallup?
Good question. I think there's the Puyallup canoe family, and then there's another canoe family in Puyallup. It's the Bash family, and I'm sorry I don't have the name of their canoe right off the top of my head, but there's two different canoe families that I know of. Don't don't beat me down if I'm missing somebody, but yeah, Puyallup practices as a community together, and then
So the whole tribe is like so when you say a canoe family, that's like the whole tribe.
right, yeah.
And so like do you have your own canoe just for your family or are you in it with a lot of other people?
The Puyallup tribe has their own canoes. I think they have three. They have three of their own. They were just gifted one last canoe journey by Muckleshoot. I think they brought that out. They woke it up, and I think they're going to use it for this journey in July. But every family does have the power to have their own. So technically, I could start a canoe, Satiacum canoe family. You could start a Wescott canoe family. Um, yeah.
It sounds pretty interesting. It sounds pretty interesting. So are you carving your own canoe out of a piece of wood or what? Or
However
is
you
are
want to
you
do it. If you have the ability and the means to do so, then by all means. I think there are you know, uh, traditional carvers that you can contract to do these things for you. But hey, if you want to make it a family project, why not? You know,
you just hop out in the backyard with a bunch of chisels and chainsaws? Here you go. We're gonna start banging out a canoe. Um,
yeah,
the whole canoe thing is amazing. So you start from like so you're out in the ocean.
yeah. Well, for us, I think it'd be the bay, but yeah. But hey, even though it's the bay, those waters can get pretty rough. You get some good wind and high rollers out there. You know,
Especially in a
there's
canoe.
exactly. So there's a lot of
A
training and
canoe.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of training. It's not for the so how many people fit in a canoe?
It depends on the size of the canoe. I think you can fit about 12, 12 in
12
each canoe.
people in a canoe. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Are
six
you
of me,
so
6 of me.
so you're gonna roll 12 miles in the canoe? Are you gonna be pretty beat at the end of this, or is it, are you
I'm,
trained up for this, or is it just like, yeah, no big deal, I'm gonna knock out 12 miles?
I'm going to give it my all, I can't, I can't let these little youngsters outdo me. I may look like I'm pulling hard, but I'm going to let them do most of, the heavy lifting. And then, you know, the last 100 yards, I'm just going to, really put it on. So everybody thinks that I'm just full of energy. My core is engaged and killing it.
All right, there you go. We got Ty's game plan for the canoe trip. That's awesome. So you're taking a couple of days. You're going to be on the canoe trip. That's fantastic. Um, Big things coming up on the Puyallup Tribe. We got the tribal elections coming up.
June 1st, it's final countdown. Final
June
countdown.
1st.
June 1st. If you haven't got your absentee ballots in, I'm seeing folks start to turn them in now. They're posting it on social media. They're asking who to vote for. Um, and you get 3 votes. I'm asking for one of them. I'm right there in the middle. But get those in so your vote counts. And then, like my sticker says, this should be our anthem: vote loud, vote proud. I know it's backwards, but
No, it looks great. I
vote
can read it just
loud,
fine.
vote loud, Puyallup proud, right there.
I like it. I like how you highlighted the all.
Yes, yeah, because that's all of us. It takes all of our voice. You know,
All right, I'm pulling for you in the big race.
I appreciate it. I need all the support I can get.
There you go. There you go. I'm pulling for you. You know what? I was looking at the tribal paper, and I was looking at the tribal positions,
The voting guide.
and what's that?
The voting guide.
I was looking at the voting guide. I like that you got the right name for that. I was looking at the voting guide, and then I was looking through the paper, and I was just I'm just interested in this. I don't I mean, you know a lot more about tribal issues and politics than I do, but I was interested to see that the official statement that came out from the Puyallup Tribal Council on March 8th, 2024 says Puyallup Tribal Council backs Biden in primary.
Oh wow.
I wonder, why does the tribe back a Democratic candidate?
That's a good question, and I wish I was in the position to know, but I would have to say that because the Democrat, Joe Biden, they probably because he supports environmentally safe policies and the social protection of ethnicities and minorities. I think probably a majority for those reasons, and maybe the support that they get from the Democratic side with trust related properties. These are just guesses and hypotheses, but
Hmm.
I think that
That's a tender subject right there, isn't it?
well, it is, because some people feel very strongly about their political stance, and I know if we want to be successful and if we want things that matter to us as tribes to get passed, we have to be able to play nice with both sides of the aisle. And that's just the truth of it. When you're in DC, you're not just lobbying to Democrats. You're not just lobbying to one side of the aisle. You're getting FaceTime with both sides because you really need support from both sides to help pass this legislature that supports Indian country. So it's a kind of risky, to put your support behind one Democratic party. You know.
Yeah. No, since I just found it interesting, I won't dive too deep into it since I know that elections are coming up and all of that's happening. So June 1st is the big day. And so people can vote in person.
You can vote in person. We're gonna have There's going to be good food at the primary. There was a lot of good food. We were all set up together. We showed great unity. Um, there was fry bread. There was all kinds of stuff. And I'm imagining it's going to be like that and even better this year, or in June. But come out, bring the family, um, make sure your little ones or your cousins or everybody of voting age gets out and talk to them about what each person's message is. Help them make an informed decision. Don't just tell them who to vote for. Encourage them to make their own decision. Encourage them to do their own research, and encourage them to ask the tough questions to all the candidates, so that we're not creating a generation of voters who just vote for whoever their aunties or uncles tell them to. That they're able to make their own informed decision. That's my
Yeah.
thoughts.
How should one go about doing research on the candidates?
Social media, Facebook, for sure. I'm very active there. You can see, I have a Facebook page that's dedicated to the campaign. It's Ty R. Satiacum for Tribal Council. I'm posting a message out to our community on a daily basis. I'm in the tribal papers. I have ads everywhere, signage, billboards. I'm accessible. I'm meeting with tribal members almost every day. I'm loving the amount of people that are reaching out and new people in the community that I haven't met have been reaching out and asking the tough questions, kind of like you, like, where do I stand on the Democratic, or am I more Democratic or progressive, or am I more conservative? Asking those types of tough questions. But I really appreciate when a member reaches out and asks these tough questions and takes the time to really get to know their candidates and aren't just filling in the dots on a paper. But if you want to see what each candidate is about, you look on social media, see what they're doing in the community. They should be there, and most of them are. They're at every event. Um, they're all good people, and they contribute in a good way to our community. So just pay attention. Basically, we're out there. We're trying to put our message out there. I know I have been. If somebody's not seeing it, I'm more than happy to meet with them and talk with them and help point them in the right direction.
And there is an election every year, correct?
Every year. Yes. Same time.
And is every position up every year?
It'll be on a rotation. So this year there's 3 seats open. So so this year, 2024, there's 3 seats. So in 2027, these same 3 seats will be open. So next election in 2025, there's 2 seats. And then the year after that, there's 2 seats. And then that third year, it goes back to the 3. So.
And if you take a look at the voter's guide, which got mailed out, which is what we're talking about, it's got a nice bio of each person, talks a little bit about them, maybe a page, maybe half a page of information about
Yes.
each person and what they do and kind of what they stand for. Some will share what their goals are.
Yeah.
So that's also a place to look.
Yep.
For information. And I don't know the answer to this question. I'm just gonna ask it. But Bill is the chair of the council. And it looked like he's first started getting involved with the council in 1978, right?
Yeah, he's an old schooler. He's been there a long time.
I don't know. Has he been on the council for 45 years?
That's a good question. I know it's at least 30. And I know
So there was some off and on.
There may have been. I know he was starting to make his his career into public service back when towards the end of my grandfather's political career. And he kind of credits my grandfather for helping him at in his younger years as he was growing to be in public service, and to where he's at today. He had a great relationship with my grandfather. So I enjoyed talking with Bill just about the history of the tribe and all the battles he's had to go through, and um, the generations of different politicians he's had to work with, and just some of the old war stories with him and my grandfather. Yeah, he's been doing it a long time.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool. Do you think that they should have term limits on these things?
That's always been a hot topic, and I don't really sway one way or another. I know that's a risky answer, but if especially in our system and the way I see that term limits can be beneficial if there's no progress being made with the current council, right? But if there's progress and the economic development is thriving and the membership is thriving and everything's on the up and up, um, I don't I don't see a need for term limits. The election process kind of can do that, and every member has their opportunity to win a seat through the election process. Although it is a lot harder to take out an incumbent, the way our system is set up. We don't have access to the members and their information. It's harder for us to reach the members. We have a limited reach on who we can contact. The incumbents have the advantage because they are front facing all year long, and their name is on all the checks and all that kind of stuff. So it is tougher, but when it comes to should there be term limits, um, it's a tough one. I think you can make an argument for both, to be honest.
Yeah,
What
I
do you,
think
what are your thoughts on that, Dave?
well, because I'm not running for this, and I'm not, like the powers that be can't affect me, So at the end of the day, like I think I get to have my own views, and I'll say that in regard to term limits, term limits, I believe, help keep new blood in the game, and they keep new ideas in the game, and they keep, an ever changing um, viewpoint on the tribe. And I think that that can be a good thing. Where I think it can be a negative thing is in the fact that if the tribal council is making good progress and they have a vision, and maybe it's a 10-year vision or a 15-year vision, a term limit could constantly change that vision, and it could be the tribe is always changing vision and ideas and goals and mission, and I think that that could be detrimental to the tribe in that particular way. So like if I had a certain perspective or a certain set of viewpoints, and I came on to the tribal council and I said no, and I was able to sway other council members or whatever, or maneuver and manage and manipulate the power, like you could change direction of the tribe, and term limits could cause that to happen on a continual basis. And it's also not like the US government where you have a president and a vice president, and then you have a Congress, and then you have a Senate that all keeps people in check. Like those different levels of government keep things in balance. And because there's only, a handful of council members, council is a glorified board of directors. I hate to say it, but that's kind of what it is, right? And so they're running the tribe based on, the decisions and the abilities and the information and the power and their experience, that they have. And I think that that's good and bad. But I think that I don't know. I honestly don't know if it's right or wrong to have a term limit. I think being on council for 30 years seems like a long time. It seems like a long time to be in one position, or multiple positions within the board, or on the council. But Um, but the intricacies of how it all plays out and how it all works, I think, I just I don't have enough information to do that. There's things that I don't like about, the tribe. I don't like the involvement in marijuana. I think, like marijuana's bad. I think pot is bad. I know that it's like an accepted source of things to do, but I think it brings people down, to be perfectly honest. I think it keeps Indian people down. I think it keeps natives down. I think it keeps your mind in a place that's controlled by a substance. Sure, it might be better than alcohol, but I'm a believer that all that's bad. The more you smoke pot, the more that your IQ goes down. You know what I mean? So I think it's a stronghold. I'm not a believer in that. So that's one thing that I would, take a big stance on. I'm not a big believer of cigarettes and alcohol and all of those things because they're life controlling, substances. So like I think that is what it is. Um, you know, I don't know. We all have our views and our thoughts. And, cannabis is something that the tribe is invested in, and it's something that, you know, that they're doing, and it is what it is. Those are some of my thoughts. But I do think it's important for every member to get out and vote. I think it's important to speak your name. I think it's important to do the research, like what you've said. You read the bio, read what they're about, read what their goals are, see how involved they are in tribal issues, see how involved they are in um, what's happening with the tribe, see what they think the future looks like. I ask to say, what is one of my big questions is, what does the tribe look like in 10 years? Tell me tell me your vision for the Puyallup tribe in 10 years. Is there per capita in 10 years? Are there bonuses in 10 years? I don't know, you know? So those are some of the things that I think about when I look at it. How are we doing with artificial intelligence? How is that making an impact on the tribe today? What are we thinking about in terms of those particular items? And then why? What are you doing? And how do the things that you're doing affect me? And what do they mean for me? And what does success look like to be a tribal member? Like if I'm voting for any one of these tribal members, what does success look like at the end of 3 years? What are you saying? We're going to accomplish this. How is it impacting my life? How is it making my life better? How is it making the tribe's life better? And what does success look like at the end of 3 years? Can you list out a track record of things that you've done that say, I made the lives of the Puyallup tribe of Indians better? And I think if you can show that, that's success in my mind. That's my standpoint on it. That's a little bit more than what you asked me about because you just asked me about term limits. But at the end of the day, those are some of my thoughts.
Yeah, those are great thoughts, strong thoughts, and strong stances. Yeah, sorry I cut out my Wi-Fi cut out for some reason for a second, so I missed that last part. But I heard you. I heard the bulk of
You
your
got my
statements.
rant.
I got it, man. And man, who knows? In 10 years, man, I think we got to be prepared for AI, man. AI might be plotting for a big takeover. It's getting smarter and smarter. I don't know if you're paying attention to some of the capabilities that this AI is able to do, but it's kind of you see all them movies about artificial intelligence and how they're taking over the world and stuff like that. I got to be honest, it's a little sketchy, but with regards to the tribe stance in 10 years, my vision for the tribe is to be self-sufficient, right? Not in a state of financial chaos. Our business is on improving year over year rather than declining. And bonuses and per caps, obviously those are great, but I think the better goal and a success for me as a tribal member are, what are we doing to improve that tribal member's life? What opportunities are we giving them to improve their life, aside from handing them a check and a bonus once a month and every 3 months? What are we doing to teach them how to provide for themselves and for their family? Should something happen to our economy or to our tribal economy, how are we positioning our tribal members to be able to be self-sufficient and take care of themselves? That would be my goal. And I think, you asked the council and the candidates, what their goal would be for their vision for a tribal member, and just see what their progress is on that. I always look back, I look at Taro, 646 dispatches in 2018 on one project alone. 2024, 20 tribal projects, 3 dispatches. That's not a success. That's a success for 3 people, which is great. I'm happy for those 3 people. I don't want to take anything away from them at all. But they have to understand that that's a 643 person difference. And that's 643 less lives that we have negatively impacted with the decisions that were made at the council table. So that's what I've been trying to put out there, and that's what I've been trying to, scream to the council members. I know that they're advised by who they're advised by. I know I'm not in Taro anymore, so I try to have their ear whenever I can and help. I try to give my expertise in Taro to our council members so that they really get a perspective of, our blue collar workers and our tribal members with the boots on the ground and how all these decisions are affecting their life. So to answer your question, a successful tribe is not just providing our members with finances and a check every month and a bonus every 3 months. That's great, and I hope we can sustain that. But how are we going to improve their life? How are we going to make them, if they want to be entrepreneurs, how are we going to support that? If they want to learn a life skill in the trades, how are we going to support that? If they want to go to school and come back to the tribe and contribute to their tribe and actually get an opportunity, how are we going to do that? What's that look like? And are you actually doing it, or are you just talking about it? So
I love
yeah,
all that.
that's
I
my
love I
spiel.
love all that. I love all that. And you said something a couple shows ago that I thought was really important. And I said, I think you said you have to that you personally had to learn to walk in 2 worlds. And I think that that's a really important thing. Like, you know, you talked about, doing that and what that meant. And I think as tribal members, we have to learn how to walk. We have to know how to walk in both worlds. We have to know what that means. We have to walk in the white man's world, and we have to walk in the Puyallup world, in the native world. And I think that having a good sense of both cultures is an amazing thing. Like, I wish that I walked more in the native world. I do. Like, this canoe thing that we talked about at the beginning sounds incredible. I'd love to do this. That's why I think I had so many questions about it. Like, because I was learning from you. Like, I was learning, like, oh man, that's exciting. Oh man, that's cool. Oh wow, a 2-week journey. Oh, okay, we're on our canoes. We're doing a big party. There's no drugs and alcohol. Like, this is amazing, right? I love that. And I think that that's important. And I think learning to invest our money and learning to start small businesses and learning to, really build a culture of natives that can take care of themselves, that are sustainable without per capita, sustainable without bonuses, that we take care of our children, that we get off of drugs, that we get off of addiction, that we get off of alcoholism, that we break the cycle of prisons, that, those things, I think for me are super important, right? I would love to see in 10 years a tribe that's not dependent on casino gambling. How many natives are in those casinos gambling their per capita checks every month anyways? How many times, I mean, I'm on social media. I see how many people are complaining, oh, this happened at the casino, this happened at the casino, this happened at the casino. Listen, you want to know something? I will never put $1 into a casino. You will never see me take one penny and put it into a dollar. In fact, my wife and I were in Vegas, and we're a gold member at one of these casinos, not because we gamble, because we don't gamble, but we go for fights and things like that. And they gave us $100 on a card to go gamble. We couldn't even figure out how to work the freaking card. Like we couldn't even figure how do we do, like we were retarded when it came to this. And I think gambling is like it's great that we can make money on it. I'm not knocking that because it's a business, but it also is another level of addiction. And I think that at the end of the day, in my mind, I would love to see a tribe that is very business savvy, a tribe that is very good at investments in real estate, a tribe that is very good in investing in the waterfront, a tribe that's good at investing in business opportunities that return big big yields, like if you manage private equity, think of the tribe as a big private equity fund, right, where you've got cash that's constantly flowing, and you can take that cash and you can make huge investments that pay off big, and then you can invest in those businesses and sell those businesses for 10-time multipliers, right? If you can invest in them and help them grow, if you invest $10 million, but now you can sell for 100 million. You have that opportunity as a tribe because you're a huge player, huge revenues, huge dollars. And I think that, that's what I would love to see. Now, I know that's very unpopular opinion. I know that a lot of people can be hating on me, I'm sure, for the whole thing because I'm anti-gambling, even though it provides per capita. I love per capita, but whatever. I'm anti-drugs. I'm anti-alcohol. I'm all about living clean, living pure, being 100% focused. I know that's an unpopular view, but I'm a believer in it. And I would love to see a tribe in my vision, in my world, that is not dependent on anything that brings any native down. Like I believe we should be above all of those things. I know that's going to be an unpopular view, but that's just my 2 cents. And I know that everybody has a different view of where they want to see the tribe in 10 years. And I think when you look at the candidates, I think what's important is that you look at candidates that have similar values to you, have similar beliefs to you, and have similar missions to you. And you might not be able to check off all 10 boxes, so you kind of compromise there. But I think what you do is you check off the boxes for the people that resonate most with your belief system. And it's not about your aunties and your uncles. It's about what do you believe in and what do you want to see and how did you investigate those people and how did they answer the questions? And then you vote based on intelligence and you vote based on values. And that's what my opinion is on the whole thing. That's all I'm going to say about it.
I love it. I love your stance there. You obviously have great knowledge in the finance world, and I hope we're as the show progresses. We're in our 6th week, by the way, which is great. But I hope as this show progresses, we get to start educating and putting some of your expertise to use on how we can provide financial expertise to some of our youth, right? Like how can this show impact the youth? But as far as with our casino, yeah, we are heavily reliant upon it. Um, that's our major source of income. I know it's a $35 billion industry, and if we're not taking part of it, somebody else will. And however, I do believe that we shouldn't have all our eggs in one basket. I love your idea of being a big equity fund, right? Where we are looking for businesses to invest in, not just here on the reservation, but how can we keep that money? How can we keep that cash flowing, and putting other people's money to use, right? With these
Yeah.
investments and essentially being a bank or an investment fund, right? Like those are great ideas, because a lot of people don't realize if we have another pandemic and our casino goes down for whatever reason, there's cyber attacks now. There could be another pandemic. Our insurance is only going to cover us for a month. What are we going to do? When that money's gone, it's gone. We don't have, we're so we're so financially tied up in all the money that we put out to the membership and to all these programs and stuff like that. We don't have a lot of extra to play around with, and so we are we really need to start diversifying, and we really need to start focusing on the long term and the big picture,
I love it. That's what I love. I love thinking about the big picture. What does it look like, not just for my kids, but my kids' kids? What happens with the tribe in 100 years?
Yeah, the last thing I want, as thankful as I am today for what my ancestors did with nothing. I mean, there was no casinos, there was no per capita, there was no bonuses. There was, man, if we don't go fish, we're not going to eat. If we don't go hunt, we're not going to eat. They were able to put their resources together with nothing back then. So the last thing I want to do is leave nothing to the next generations and them look back and say, what the hell were they doing? What the hell did
Right?
what the
Right?
hell were they doing with our,
Exactly.
you know, I feel, as I get older, I need to have a hand in making sure that we're leaving this place better than we found it.
I
You
love it.
know,
I think that's so spot on. And I think as we bring this thing in here for a landing, get out and vote. Do your research. You got 10, 11 days. You got absentee ballots need to get in, get out, vote loud and proud. Do it. Get out there and vote. Do your research. Vote for the best candidate that you feel is best in your heart, in your mind, in your soul, in your intelligence. Do the research, dig deep, and show up to vote. Like get out there and do it. Make it happen. Any final thoughts?
no, it's been a great show. I've had a great time, with this show. It's been 6 weeks, man. I think that's a good milestone. This was just kind of a dream, and we made it happen all so quick. Thanks to you, your team, and Ralph there. Yeah, I'm very appreciative of this platform, and I'm very appreciative of you guys and the team and this opportunity. So I appreciate it. And yes, get out and vote loud. Puyallup proud. You got 3 votes. I'm asking for one of them. If not, it's okay. I still like you. Maybe next year. But I'm available. Reach out to me through Facebook, phone number, email. However, man, I want to engage. But that's all I
I
got.
love it. I love that you're out there. Vote loud, vote proud, get it done June 1st. That's today. I'm Dave Wescott. Follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, anywhere it's social. I'm hanging out. Ty's hanging out in all the same places. Hit us up. Drop your comments in the comment box. Give us a like. Give us a share. And join us next week as we talk about what's going on in Indian country.
Yes. Have a good one. Have a good one, Dave. Hoyt.